What's poppin'? It's been quite some time. I think it's been over like 6 months since I posted my last video. So what am I doing here today talking to you via this camera? I'm kind of making this video just because it's Sunday. It's the latter half of the season, so that means a lot of people aren't here at the training center. It's Sunday, it's my day off. I'm really fucking bored. Really bored. I'm just gonna kind of react to old training videos from back in the day. Most of these videos were filmed in 2011. All this stuff was from when I was a senior in high school. I guess the kind of backstory of it all is that I guess this kind of goes along with my story, if you will. I've wanted to make this very extravagant, grand YouTube video explaining my story and how I got to where I wanted to be, and how I got to where I'm at now as an athlete, so that way you guys can understand, you know, where I came from, what I did to get to where I am now, and all this stuff that I'm about to show you is a huge part of it. My junior year of high school, I started wrestling, and I was pretty terrible at wrestling, but I really liked it. So during the off season, myself and some other wrestlers, and we had these wrestling conditioning off-season workouts, and I got into that stuff, and I really took to the lifting aspect, and that was really my first introduction to a lifting program aimed at getting stronger, getting faster, getting more explosive, getting better at the sport. Prior to that, I had pretty much just lifted for aesthetics, bodybuilding, and from what you'll see in the video, I wasn't very good at that. I kind of really took to you know, the training aspect, the weight room aspect of sports, and I learned that you could be a strength and conditioning coach. I learned that strength and conditioning was a thing. It was that time of your life when you're really trying to figure out what exactly you want to do. You know, for me, that was it. I was like, damn, I can spend the rest of my life in a weight room working with athletes. That sounds incredible, especially for somebody like myself, because I wasn't the best athlete. So I wanted to help other people who were good athletes become even better athletes. And yeah, so I took it upon myself to go find an internship, and it turns out there was this place right down the road from where I grew up, literally 5 minutes down the road. It was called the Gorilla Pit. It was this kind of warehousey sort of pretty good sized gym, but yeah, super focused on, it was really hardcore strength sports, powerlifting and strongman, like death metal, just grungy, dirty kind of you know, intensity. It was awesome place, awesome place. Yeah, so this is all stuff that kind of led me to, you know, get into throwing, I guess. So I focused really hard on that for about the next 8 months or so. Yeah, I went from like a 170-pound wrestler to a 240-pound teenage strongman competitor. I think I gained, what was it, yeah, about 60 pounds over the course of the summer in between my junior and senior year of high school. But yeah, so all these videos are, you know, a little glimpse into what my life was like before I was a thrower. So I hope you guys enjoy. You guys get to see what, you know, what kind of brought me along, what helped me grow and develop as an athlete before I was even really an athlete at all. Alright, so this first video, like I said, this is the Gorilla Pit. You can see those red painted walls, the red racks. You can hear one of my training partners. That was Big Sean. I was Little Sean. Sean Niss. He was one of my main training partners back in the day. So yeah, so this is like, I think, a 265 axle press. The axle bar is a bigger, thicker bar. It's really hard to handle, that thickness. Power jerk or split jerk? Oh yeah, split jerk. Perfect, pristine technique. Dave Miller, where you at? Come at me, bro. Tell me my split jerk technique isn't better than all your weightlifters. Alright, so next up, second video. You can see Sean Niss, big Sean. I was taller than him, but he was thicker than me. He was bigger, beefier. This was a 275-pound squat for 5 reps. At this point, I was doing like Mark Ripato's Texas method. I was seeing crazy strength gains at the time. I went from squatting 225 to 275 for reps. So like, this is a big deal for me, but it's not a huge amount of weight. But I've never been that strong in my life. You can see the strain in the technique. I'm not very comfortable with the motor pattern yet. Weak ass hips. I don't even know. This is all quads and back. I've always hated squatting. I feel like I have very weird proportions for it. Long legs, short torso, and just not great genetics for squatting. Big old bloody nose, look at that. This was like the first time this ever happened to me. This is very common in powerlifters and strongman. And so I thought by doing this, it was almost like a rite of passage. Moving on, here we have the first video of me deadlifting, and I think I'm wearing squat briefs. They're pretty much big giant underpants that don't let you sit down. It's called equipped powerlifting. Look it up. It's a really weird sport in my opinion. This is $4.95. You can hear another one of my training partners in the background, Doug Gross. Shout out to Doug. He was another one of those guys who was just around, who kind of helped me learn how to lift and how to train hard. All right, so back to training. All right, log press. This is one of my favorite events. I loved pressing events. I think this was 270. It's a big fucking log though, dude. This is the most awkward event. One of the most awkward. Let's be real. All the events in Strongman fucking suck. They all hurt. They're all awkward. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I liked pressing events. Next video. So yeah, so next up we got a 700-pound yoke. You can see a little bit more of the gorilla pit layout.
Stay tight.
Picking it up and dropping a little bit and get my ass whooped by it.
Come on, Sean. Pick that shit up.
If you guys have never done a yoke before, you just pretty much see how much weight you can possibly put on your back and still pick it up and walk with it, which is absolutely insane. It's really good for core stability. Get up and down my abs. Next up, we got the stone for reps for time, stone for reps, whatever. This is my second ever competition. This was like Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving of my senior year. I don't think this stone was very heavy at the time, like 180, maybe 200, 220. I don't remember. Wasn't that heavy though. Yeah. You see, no regard for human life, just tossing it up. What is this? You can hear one of my other training partners, Bryce. Between Bryce, Sean, and Doug, those were my main training partners, and I was at the Gorilla Pit going through this kind of powerlifting strongman phase. And they taught me a lot. Not just about lifting, but kind of about life in general, and they kind of helped shape my, you know, my teenage years a little bit. Forever grateful for them, because they took this naive little 18-year-old kid under their wing and showed him the way. Next video. This one's from a competition, actually. This is January. This was Ohio's Strongest Man, I want to say, and there was a teenage class, so I competed in the teenage age group and the heavyweight weight class. Here we have a little Atlas stone lifting. Got your forearms all taped up. This was also one of my most proud moments. This is a 350-pound Atlas stone. That's pretty heavy, and you can see the struggle. You can see the struggle. All right, next up. Oh, here we got more video from that competition, from this competition in January. This is a farmer walk, duck walk medley, and I don't think these weights were very heavy. As you can see, I'm pretty much running with them, and that was my one advantage that I had in Strongman. I wasn't the biggest, but if I could pick up a weight, I was gonna scoot with it. So I guess that's kind of the one saving grace, the one little bit of athleticism I had when I was doing this Strongman stuff, was I had quick feet, relatively. Oh, here we have another video from the competition in January. I want to say like 550 or 580. Fat fucking legs, baby powder all over them. This is a max 18-inch deadlift. This is another great place for me. I spent my very young years, like 13, 14, 15, 16, training here at this YMCA, and me and all my friends would go every day after school. We would play basketball and we would lift for hours. We always used to joke around and say it's the place where champions are made. So in this video is 300 pounds even. I was at the YMCA using bumper plates and some additional weights, and boom, dip drive it up, barely catch it by the grace of God, and little grunt, little yell, bringing some intensity to the old ass YMCA. Oh, and here we go, another one. This is here at the Cortad Strength Institute. This is like a 325-pound axle press. Once again, back to the axle, clean and press. But yeah, so this is me going for max back in the day.
Come on, big jump.
The split jerk, man, that was my thing. It was my thing. I love the split jerk. It was good. 325-pound axle press. Once again, a decent weight. I don't even know if I could do that now. Probably not, because I'm a weak-ass, upper-bodied hammer thrower. So next up, here we are at Gorilla Pit 3.0. Or I want to say this is like May or June. I was preparing for the Teen Strongman Nationals. It's 500. I pulled for 5 reps. This is a pretty, once again, this is one of my more proud moments. Like, this is probably one of the strongest deadlift sets I've ever done in my life. 500 for 5, man. I think I estimated max at like 565, 575. As an 18-year-old kid. All right, next up, this is the summer, once again preparing for Teen Strongman Nationals. Here I am doing rack deadlifts with like 600 pounds strapped up, belt on, no briefs this time. The longest setup ever, getting so psyched up. I remember I was juiced to be doing this weight. Now we got moving on to, this is me in the thick of it. This is me in the thick of my strongman career. This is the National Association of Strongman Teen Nationals. This was in Columbus, Ohio. This is pretty much the only reason why I went to this meet, why I trained for it, because this was the summer after my senior year. I had competed in track and field during that senior year, so strongman kind of took a back seat for about 2-3 months. And then after the season was over in May, or the end of the very beginning of June, I had like a month and a half to prepare for this, and I went as hard as I could for that month and a half. It didn't turn out nearly as well as I would have thought for all the effort I put in. But yeah, still a really great experience. But yeah, so first event was the log press for reps. This is long ass. You can see how long the log is. It's very awkward. Throws you off balance. But you can see me repping the split jerk technique. And you can just see, like, I don't look very strong. I'm not a very strong person. And I say this to everybody that I talk to about lifting and about training. I'm not a very strong person. The split jerk technique is looking pretty rough, just like it was in all the other videos, but I think I did 5 or 6 maybe, and like the winner went on to do like 13 or 14, just making it look like a piece of cake. Next event, the keg and drag medley. Oh man, struggling. You can hear my dad in the background cheering me on though. Mat drags. Sucked a slip. You see me slip at the end. I think you can hear my mom in one of the other videos too. They were pretty supportive of me doing this. They were surprisingly, like my mom, like I said, I was eating a pound of meat a day, a pound of pasta a day, and a gallon of milk a day for like a month or 2 there, and my mom was like, she was supportive. She paid for the groceries even though I was a garbage disposal. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for being supportive of me and my you know, stupid hobbies as a teenager. But yeah, so I guess that's it for all the videos. Hopefully you guys can see where I came from a little bit and what I did, and hopefully you guys enjoy it, learning a little bit more about my story and my background before I was who I am now. Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, it's cool to look back on that stuff because like I said, that whole strongman powerlifting adventure I had for that 1.5 years of my life was very formative for me. You know, I was bullied as a kid. You know, I think like anybody is in middle school, and even through early on in high school, I didn't really have anything. I was pretty timid. I was pretty shy. That little phase of my life kind of helped build a lot of confidence for me, and kind of give me something to work towards, and really taught me a lot about myself and a lot about the world in general. You know, working hard pays off, and that's what I kind of learned. I wouldn't trade that time in those shitty, dirty, dusty gyms with those guys. I wouldn't trade it for the world. That's what I did before I got into throwing big time. Like I said, I threw my senior year, kind of in the middle of all that stuff. Threw the shot 53, threw the discus 158, having no real technique, no real coaching, just kind of that little strength base I had from doing strongman and powerlifting, and then you know, my work ethic. That's all I had. So yeah, and then from there I went on to college, went on to Mount Union, started working with Sean Denard and Justin Rohde, and the rest is history, you know. So that was just a little insight into my life before throwing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, comment down below, tell me what you guys think. Yeah, sorry for not posting. I really do enjoy making YouTube videos, but I really enjoy throwing farther more. So that's where my efforts are at for right now, but soon enough, I'll get back to making videos. Alright, thanks for watching. Like I said, like, subscribe, share. Continental Cup coming up in 4 or 5 weeks. So that's what I'll be doing, focusing on then. Go follow me on Instagram for more frequent training updates at SD Throws. Peace out, time to go eat dinner.